Hey. Hey. Hey, yeah. Yo, Darious Britt here, and today we are reviewing the short film One Man's Lost, directed by Philip Sansom. Now, this particular 6-minute-ish short film doesn't really fall within any particular genre category, but it's a really cool short film. So for those of you who may not have noticed, Philip Sansom is the same dude who made the short film The Black Hole. One Man's Lost has done the whole festival tour thing. It's played at 7 fests, including Cannes and the Los Angeles Shorts Fest, and it's won a couple of awards. All in all, this short's it's done pretty well. It even made Short of the Week. That's pretty good. I'd say that's a pretty strong follow-up. Short synopsis. A homeless dude's luck pretty much turns all the way around when he cuts his foot on a piece of glass outside of an apartment. So if you haven't seen it yet, I will leave a link in the description section so you can go over there, you can throw some eyeballs at it, and then you can come back and we can do that talking thing where we talk about it and shizzle. Because I really don't want to spoil it for you. I really kind of like this one. Too late. Let's get into it. The title, One Man's Loss. Well, that's the first part of the idiom. One man's loss is another man's gain. The whole deal where one person loses something, but what that one dude lost, the other guy got. Pretty clever. So for anybody who's loosely familiar with that idiom, you combine that title with a thumbnail of a homeless dude, smash them together, and kablam! Anybody who's familiar pretty much has a clear idea of what that film's gonna be about. Story structure. Interestingly enough, you could say that this film is an example of a plotless film, or a film that has no plot. In order to have a plot, you need to have two things. One, a main character or characters, and two, a goal, or if it's a group of characters and they share a common goal, kind of like the Ghostbusters or the Power Rangers. All the plot structures that we always talk about, they basically orbit around a character having a definable goal. So we have a setup, we meet the protagonist, a homeless guy, and the jerk boyfriend. Jerk boyfriend almost smashes into the homeless guy with his car. Jerk boyfriend comes home to an angry girlfriend and they fight. There is no inciting incident. You would think it's when the homeless guy almost gets hit by the car, or cuts his foot on the glass, or gets hit in the head with a shoe, but it's actually not. None of these events are creating a problem for the homeless guy that he doesn't already have. Typically speaking, an inciting incident would present a problem that your main character must then solve, so they've got to create a plan to solve said problem, and the rising action is all about watching them execute that plan to solve the problem. So our homeless guy, he doesn't really have a plan of action for anything. He just continues being homeless. No goal, no plan, no dramatic action, no nothing. Good fortune literally just falls on top of him. The answers to all of his problems fall out of the sky, smack him right upside the head. The reason why I think it still works is because we're so entertained by how much this guy's luck turns around. He gets new shoes, new clothes, a car, and a girl all within an hour. Funny thing is, I don't think we got to know any of the characters well enough to really connect with them, but I didn't really care. It was just one big unbelievable underdog story. Everything else in the story was just a big setup for that payoff, to see this guy's luck totally turn around in this crazy way. So the boyfriend, man, that guy was a jerk, but I like how they approached his character. From the first minute that we see this guy, they make you want to hate his guts, and you do for the most part, but they also remind you that he's a human. For instance, when he slaps his girlfriend, we see this. A little moment of uncertainty there. You kind of see it in the eyes, like he wasn't sure he should have done that. No, and then when she storms out of the door, we see this. So was that kind of a moment of uncertainty there? Was he thinking about dashing out that door after her, but then he caught himself? Interesting. Nobody likes mustache twirling evil because those characters tend to be very boring, flat, and uninteresting. And our boyfriend here, even though he's a jerk, he's a human jerk, not a mustache twirling one. By the way, great location and production design. The apartment is so spacious. There's a lot of room to give us that depth that we're always hunting for in our shots. It's also got nice large windows to let that natural sunlighting pour in. It's a very photogenic location. That production design. Everywhere you look in the apartment, there's something going on. Look at all those baubles on the rack behind the girlfriend. The color palette is also very consistent. We see soft, earth tone greens and browns everywhere. Green paint on the walls, brown brick and wood. We've even got the green plants in the windows. All of this is attention to detail. These choices that they made with color lend to the cohesive look of that location, and it contributes to the overall polish of the film. And I love the use of natural lighting. There's a lot of that going around in here. There's so much sunlight going on in this film that it almost feels like the sun itself is a character in the story. The funny thing is, this is a prime example of how you can shoot at completely different times of the day, from shot to shot, and people don't even know the difference. Hollywood does this all the time. All of the wide and medium shots were filmed midday, but all of the close-ups were filmed much later in the day. It's clearly midday here. Midday, much later. Look at the direction of the sunlight hitting him. Much later. Much later. Sidelight illuminates his eyes here. Now, if this were filmed midday, he'd have really yucky shadows all over his eyes. When he crosses the street, that's midday again. Midday, midday, midday. Much later for the close-up. Midday, midday. My suspicion is that they shot all the wide shots at the time of day that it's supposed to happen narratively, but then they saved all the close-ups and shot those later on in the day when the light was much more flattering. Or they could have just shot everything and then picked up all the close-ups later on at another time with just the actor, since you could practically shoot those anywhere. Oh yeah, and that like rule of thirds thing, let's see if they use that. Show did. That's why it looks so good. Look at that. You gotta get on them thirds. I'm telling you, you want your stuff to look pro, you gotta get on them thirds. I really like the score they had going on. This kind of really soft wandering piano riff that they had playing over parts of the short, and I thought it was really fitting. I wish I could play the piano and be cool. So who's it for? Well, I actually kind of think it's for everybody. It doesn't really conform to any particular genre. It's very entertaining, well done. It's really cute but not too sentimental, and it's only 6 minutes long, so if you're not really digging it, it'll be over before you know it. Did you hate it? Did you love it? Did you love hating it? Did you hate loving it? Leave a comment in the description section. Let me know what you thought, because it's not really a conversation if it's only one guy talking. Well, that's all I got for you. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like, subscribe. You can find me on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, or the Twitter. You can also follow me on my second YouTube channel, Darious Britt, where I vlog about my adventures on the film festival circuit with my first feature-length film, Unsound, live casting, vlogs, etc., etc., etc. And I do believe that is all I got for you suckers. D-Britt out.